Hello, this episode of the Quit Stalling Geekcast is broadcasting live from the Quit Stalling Media Studios. Welcome, everyone. It is a Sunday afternoon. We're an hour late. It's about 2 p.m. here in Manila, but you know what? It's better to stay safe than be sorry when you're driving out in the cold November rain. And, Derek, sometimes you just gotta take off and fly. And speaking of people who take off and fly, I want to take you guys all the way over to the West Coast, to the sensei of humor himself. Keep your eyes to the skies. How you doing, sensei?
Onichi, what is up, everybody in Quit Stalling? Today, sensei is, I'm on my flying ship today, not exactly the Razor crest, but we out here doing knobs. I got Baby Yoda here with me. Say hello, Baby Yoda. And we're ready to take this flight and journey and adventure through all of Mando. Well, the first half of Mando, hopefully. Half of Mando.
Oh, yes.
I'm excited to be here, guys, and it's been a while, but I'm very happy that we're now doing this because it's a good week to do this. Am I right, Harold? Am I right?
Good. Yeah, we're 5 episodes in as of the recording of this episode. 5 chapters into Mandalorian Season 2. We got the music blaring in the background by one Samuel Kim. We're remixing things around. Shout out to Sam Kim up in the hizzy. If you guys haven't checked him out, Derek, where can people find Sam Kim's music online? It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube,
guys. Yes, it's on YouTube. I believe his stuff is also on Spotify. Guys, his mixes are insane. And I'm like, if you guys are like me and Harold and all the things we geek about here on the Geekcast, you're going to love all his mixes. Show him some love and perhaps, maybe check out his links, get him some coffee too, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. That's right. So we're gonna have Samuel Kim's music playing in the background throughout the episode. He's got an epic version of the Mandalorian theme. We've got an orchestral suite version going on in the background later on as well. And we got some Mando footage, very quick Mando footage playing as well throughout the episode because we gotta illustrate our show with visuals. Hopefully, we're gonna be showing short enough clips that we don't get this video taken down, but otherwise we're just gonna put a censor bar over things in the recorded version. But we're gonna keep things copacetic here. We're gonna respect copyright rules, because that's what we do. That's what we do. Derek, before we get to the Mando news, I want to ask you, buddy, what have you been up to since we spoke 3 weeks ago? I know we played a little Azerothian adventure.
Yes, We've been grinding it up on World of Warcraft, guys. The pre-patch has been fun. Shadowlands came out, which is super awesome. I've been actually streaming quite a bit. Same old for me, just a little bit of Phasmophobia. I'm actually trying a new game. Elgin stopped by. It was very nice to see him there. It's called Elite Dangerous. It came out on Steam, on Epic for free. It's like a flight simulator, and honestly, it's like what No Man's Sky should have been. So it definitely piqued my interest, and I really enjoyed the game. The community is beautiful. So I was really happy to play that. But enjoying a lot of this WoW with Harold, pushing me to Shadowlands. I don't know. Good things about Shadowlands.
It's there. It's there when you're ready. It's there when you're ready.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of good things about it. But, honestly, the highlight of my last couple weeks has been Mando.
Oh, yes.
I mean, seriously. Yeah,
I agree. This is the way.
How about you, man?
I
know, besides playing with me, of course.
Oh, yeah, I play with you a lot, but World of Warcraft also.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I actually, one of these days I do have to play Phasmophobia with you. I want to be a Ghostbuster.
Me and Kevin are always alone. We need a third, or watch.
I never get an invite.
That's true. I'll shoot you up.
Okay.
With a message.
Words are hard today.
Words are hard today. Shoot you up with a message. I'm going Mando on you guys, so we're careful.
Oh man, intravenous style. No, so it's been all work for me the past week, but before the past week, it's all about finalizing our plans for 2021. We've had a lot of stuff that's been in the editing bay over the past few months. We wanted to release it this year, but because of our situation right now, because of how busy people got, we couldn't release it through 2020. So we're planning for 2021 to be the year of our releases. Yes. So we're gonna have our whole town hall in the next week or so, 2 weeks. That's what us here at Quitsong are gonna be talking about stuff that we want to do for 2021, and then if you guys haven't checked it out yet, Sensei has actually put out a couple of episodes of the Otaku Cast as well up on YouTube, where they talked about manga. It's been predominantly One Piece recently, but that's gonna be flavored up with My Hero Academia and a couple of other anime here and there and manga.
Yes.
I'm excited for that.
Let us know if you guys would like to see anything else too, because we're
Yuri on Ice.
Yes. Ooh.
Have you watched Yuri on Ice?
I've heard of this, but I haven't seen it.
Okay. I know we're talking about Star Wars today, but real quick, since we're on this topic, super quick.
Yes.
I was not expecting anything out of Yuri on Ice, and I came out with a story about heart and love and passion, Derek. So, I wouldn't consider myself a huge anime fan, but anime is good, and if you like me or a casual, there are worse ones to watch than Yuri on Ice. I enjoyed myself on the ice.
I was like, you enjoyed yourself, did you? On the ice,
yes,
gotcha.
Sir. Yes, on the ice. On the ice. Let us know, chat. What have you guys been watching and digesting and playing recently? Let us know as we go through the show. Derek, we know what we're here for. So I don't think we should wait.
We shouldn't wait, because that's not the way. That's not the way.
That's not the way. All right, we're just gonna dive right into it. No sponsor plugs, none of that. Actually, yeah, we'll say that for the end. Let's get straight to it, man.
Let's do it, man. I'm ready.
Let me crank up some music here.
Ooh.
Oh, yes. All right, let's talk about The Mandalorian Season 2, people. Season 2 of our favorite Star Trekkin', bounty hunting, son of a gun, the Mandalorian himself, Din Djarin. Derek, we're going to kick things off with episode 1, and we're not going to delay. The biggest thing for me about episode 1 had to be the final, or actually the first introduction that we finally got for the fabled and legendary Krayt Dragon. This thing was massive.
Dude, I love how the music just like perfectly synced to when you said that, dude. Did you do that on purpose? Dude, I swear to God, you were like, and it was dun dun, and you said Krayt Dragon at the same time. That was pretty epic, dude. Oh God.
Sometimes you just feel the music, Derek. Sometimes you just feel it and things happen. This thing is massive. This thing is everything aside from a pair of eyes looking right at us that I expected it to be.
Dude, I mean,
people and whatnot.
The first episode was beautiful. I mean, honestly, I might be kind of overlooking everything as a whole, but like cinematography wise, this episode was like beautiful.
Yes.
So last year I got my first 4K TV, and this show was like 4K. Dude, the desert was just like, I like literally sat in front of my TV. I'm like, why does this show look so good now? But I mean, obviously, the second season might have got obviously a lot more budget because of the first season. But man, dude, that dragon was like, looked so good. It almost looks better than like the kaijus and stuff from Pacific Rim. Like the CG in this show was like, they pulled on all the stops. It was magnificent.
Yeah. Epic, man. And the scale, the way they built it up, they before giving us a full reveal, they had it eat a little bantha. A lot of banthas were sacrificed in the making of this episode. We saw eat a bantha in town. We saw like a little nod to Tremors, where the Krayt Dragon was just underground the whole time, and you even had Din saying, "I didn't expect it to be that big," even though a lot of us who are more familiar with the EU, or even if you paid close attention to Episode 4, A New Hope, and you saw the giant skeleton of the Krayt Dragon as C-3PO and R2 walk by it, you kind of have an idea of the scale. But for them to say that the only way to kill a Sarlacc is to eat it from inside its lair, and then you start getting a sense of, okay, this thing is massive, this thing is vicious, because it ate something that ate one of the baddest bounty hunters in the world, Boba Fett. All right, setting up a lot of things for the course of this episode, and
yes,
Derek, this was probably the best way for them to introduce this second season.
I agree. I 100% agree.
Right, you got your giant big baddie. You got a huge nod to what's come before in terms of Mandalorian story, in terms of a planet that we've been to before, which is, of course, Tatooine, and the Sand People. Got a little extra layers to them now. Did you notice? Can I go back to this frame real quick, Derek? Did you notice?
Yeah.
That they walked in a line to hide their numbers. Exactly what Obi-Wan told us in A New Hope.
Yes, dude. I was gonna say that on my notes. I'm so happy you also caught wind of that, dude. I know that was so awesome. It's dude, these little things that can get the fans hyped. It's oh my god, dude. Favreau and Filoni, you guys are just the best. I don't care what anybody says, dude. God, these guys. I'm so happy this is happening. Yes. And this is just the first episode, guys.
Oh my
come
gosh.
on.
Okay, so
Speaking of the banthas, though, I was gonna say I really loved. Actually, before I say that, let me say what's up to Francis. Hit us with the Kyoso in the chat. What's up, Francis? This is the way. Watch the show. What's up, man? Welcome. But as I was saying, the banthas. I'm really happy. This show's done it a lot, but I thought I'd say it. Bringing back old props, man, and you know how they put this on elephants, right? That was the thing. Yes. I'm not 100% sure if they did that on this episode. But man, I just really love the fact that the old prosthetics are coming back. That was always the thing of Star Wars, and I'm so happy we get to see that here. It was just awesome, man. It was awesome.
The practical effects are amazing.
Yes, they are.
They put that giant studio they have full of LED panels and the Unreal Engine projecting the planet to good use, because especially with Din's armor, it reflects a lot, and sometimes you'd have to go into post and really edit out the green or the blue screen that would be reflecting. And here you get a sense of great lighting. They don't have to try extra hard because the lighting is already being projected onto them, and it gives so much to each scene. And Derek, you're talking about the practical effects. You're talking about the banthas. I love them, but we also got a shot of a speeder. A very familiar speeder.
Yes, very familiar indeed.
Familiar part, maybe, of a speeder. Let me bring it up on screen real quick, if I can.
I wonder where that could be.
I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find this. There it is.
There it is. Yes, that definitely looks like Anakin Speed Racer, guys. Pod Racer, excuse me.
Pod Racer, yes.
And dude, if you guys caught it, there is the point where they actually turn into that canyon. Literally has the same sound from episode 1 when Anakin hits those turns. I'm not gonna try to mimic it, but it was definitely Anakin's, the sound. Obviously some parts were obviously part of it, but man, dude, that was I look to see those little nods, man. That fan service, man, I love it.
Yeah.
Bringing stuff back.
Derek, speaking of fan service, who we thought was going to be Boba Fett initially, I'm going to say initially, turns out to be Timothy Oliphant, playing the role of a local town marshal, local town sheriff, if you will.
Hence the title, the marshal. So
exactly,
there we go.
He really gave us an added feel of the Cowboys and Indians layer to the people in this frontier town. Mining, and actually not mining gas, but they were actually mining, which we end up seeing in the Crate Dragon Pearl at the end, versus the sort of Native Americans of the Tusken Raiders, people who've been on this planet forever. I really enjoy that extra layer of Cowboys and Indians, Cowboys and Native Americans.
Oh yeah, dude.
Because that wasn't even though it wasn't the focal point of the episode, it played a huge part into the story because there was a lot of negotiation involved, where Din had to be that outsider to broker a bit of a peace for both peoples to work together to take out this great dragon. So I
love that part. Dude, I was laughing my ass off. Like, dude, it was so it actually happened in the second episode too, kind of like the funny language thing. But oh man, I love it, man. It was just like, and it kind of going back to what you said, Harold. Like, when would you ever, as a Star Wars fan, think the Tusken Raiders are going to help anybody, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And like this happened, you know, it's just like, dude, that was so awesome. I love that.
And the fact that Din was the one who brought this forward made me think like, this dude is the most Mary Sue mother effer that I have ever loved. Right? Because he has no right to be this badass. He was cold and calculated when he took out the people at the start. You know, John Leguizamo, who some of us might know as Sid from Ice Age.
Yeah.
He was
Luigi also
sous chef.
Old. Yep.
And Luigi in Mario Brothers, the sous chef.
The live action.
In Chef, because you know he's friends with Jon Favreau, who made the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
You know, he's so cold-blooded there, and then he does all this other stuff. He cares. He respects tribal culture and traditions. He speaks different languages enough that he could broker peace between, you know, Tusken Raiders who are known to be so aggressive and humans. I know. This episode did so much, and it was, you know, it was the perfect way to kick things off, and we could go on about it forever. But I do have 2 more points I want to bring up before we move on, Derek. One point is you mentioned the cinematography. We had that changing aspect ratio that everyone's going nuts about on the internet. I loved it.
Yes,
I loved it.
Yes, exactly.
That was super awesome. It added to a lot of the grandeur of the scenes, and sometimes you don't even notice it, right? Until you get that end, where from the Battle with the Sarlacc, where it's widescreen, and Din transitions and starts taking off on his speeder into the sunset, and the scene kind of fills in. I was just like, oh man, and the music comes rushing in. I was like, perfect, absolutely perfect.
Right?
Yeah, it was so good. So I wanted to point that out because, of course, the internet has, and we want to mention it. We appreciate that. Little things like that. So good.
I think that's what made me respect the desert scenes more too. It's just like just seeing like, it's like you kind of see it in a different light too. You know, it's just like a good way to look at it, and it just the sea. It's kind of, for me, it's like a way to kind of show you how vast like this universe is, and it's just on a planet, right? So it was just so good. I do want to say though, that jetpack scene with let's just say fake Boba. You know what? No, let's call him cosplayer Boba, because that's exactly what I thought when I first saw him. I'm like, this
name,
guy.
Though, that's I
know,
in my mind.
I know. It's Cobb, right? I think Cobb.
Yeah. Cobb.
I'm like, I was, when I first saw him, I was like, please, this should not be Boba, because this guy looks like a cosplayer wearing Boba like armor. But like, thank God not. But man, that jetpack scene was beautiful. I love that. And dude, it was just, dude, it's so epic, man. The flight, how it was filmed, how like smooth it looked. Oh, that was awesome. Beautiful. Just a beautiful, good starting episode, man.
Dude, they gave us everything you could have hoped for in the first episode. And you'd think it'd fizzle out, but they kept delivering quality, man. And before we move on to the rest of that quality, so we keep mentioning, Derek, that it's not actually Boba Fett we see.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
It's unfortunate, but, you know, who are we to expect so much for them to give us Boba Fett, right? Oh my God, they gave us Boba Fett at the very end! Boba Fett! They gave us Boba Fett.
Right there, man. That turn, though, we all knew who it was from the back, though. We all knew. Like, okay, we know who this is. We know who this is.
Okay, so the people. Okay, Derek. Well, we can't assume the entire galaxy knows Boba Fett. So for the people who weren't aware, all right, you see at the very end of the episode a man staring over a horizon, over a ridge at Din Djarin, zooming off on his speeder. Sorry, the child is distracting me, Derek. So adorable. And a man with multiple weaponry on his back turns to the camera, revealing a very scarred visage, a very familiar visage, Derek, a face that maybe a lot of the galaxy has seen over the past decades.
Yep.
All right. We saw this face in the Clone Wars, throughout the entire Clone Wars. We're not sure about the state post-Rebels of these people, but this man, who looks like every single clone of Jango Fett, has scars all over his face.
Yeah.
And of course, it has to be none other than Boba Fett. We knew that the Sarlacc that was supposedly, implied to have eaten him, was also supposedly eaten by the Krayt Dragon. So that could have been his way out, right?
Yeah.
He could have survived all those years, and all those stomach acids and juices and claws inside the Sarlacc probably did away with his face. Probably took an impact.
I mean, Beskar is no joke, so I would not doubt that it could survive that.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
we saw him go literally inside a Krayt Dragon, right? We saw Jingo in there for a while,
true.
so it's easy to believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. This dude is battle hardened. He's been through a lot, and it has to be Boba Fett. Temuria Morrison, the actor who portrayed the clones in their adult form, reprises his role as a clone. This time, a clone we've never seen the face of, Boba Fett.
Right.
And I lost my mind, Derek. I lost my mind. I thought we weren't gonna see him. I really thought we weren't gonna see him. And then we saw him, and I lost my mind.
And I just want to point out too, that some people do not want to believe this is him, but I want to remind you that in episode 2, you guys got to remember Jango said he wanted an unaltered clone for himself. Obviously, this guy is older. If he was a clone, some people might think it's a clone, like a Rogue One, it wouldn't be that old. He'd look the same because the clones all look the same.
If it was a clone from the Clone Wars, he'd be a lot older because they accelerated their aging.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. This guy, and man, I'm so happy. Definitely Ronin vibes, kind of seeing him here, and I was like, damn, it's kind of, I want to see more of Boba. That's exactly what when I first ended this episode. I'm like, okay, hopefully we'll see him in the next couple ones. Never know.
That's true. And speaking, Derek, of how much of a badass Din Djarin is, the Mandalorian, straight off the bat, next episode, he takes out a group of people who ambush him, get him on the jump, and it's so epic. This dude is.
I jumped out of my seat on that scene when Baby Yoda fell. I was like, I jumped out of my seat. I was like, no, he rolled. It looked so. I was like, oh my god, my baby.
Yeah.
I'm so invested in the show. I feel like Baby Yoda is my baby. I'm like, no.
Why wouldn't you?
Get him now. He fell down.
Why wouldn't you? Francishu makes a great point, Derek. In the very end scene with Boba in the previous episode, he was carrying a lot of Tusken weaponry.
Oh.
You remember those people carrying the stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point, Francis. It's a very good observation. He says, given the state of his Beskar, he would have survived that Sarlacc. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so back, Derek, to episode 2. There were a lot of standout moments.
Yeah.
I actually forgot this one where Din's carrying everything from his speeder because, of course, the speeder got wrecked.
In the hot desert in a suit. Damn, man. Guy's a beast.
Dude is ridiculous. Okay, so he makes it back to the city, and he strikes up a deal. He's got a fairy, a frog woman and her eggs.
Another funny language thing pops up. I was like, man, these language things I love it. It's just yes. And the eggs, like you mentioned, that was my one line this whole show. Baby Yoda, stop. Stop eating the eggs. God.
Oh my gosh, okay, I know people are getting on Baby Yoda for committing genocide, which he kind of does. All right, he kind of eats up a lot of what we know is the last of these frog-like people.
I know, and it's the last of their lines. So it's oh my god.
But I don't remember people getting all this hot and bothered about Anakin Skywalker murdering innocent children in a room, defenseless children in a room.
Never forget the younglings. I mean, Baby Yoda ate a frog in the first season too, live. You literally saw him eat it halfway in his mouth, you guys. That's probably the baby of someone's mama.
Oh my gosh. Well, speaking of the babies of someone's mama, okay, wait. Toxic Draven, shout out to Toxic Draven in the chat. What's up back to you?
Yo, what's
sir?
up? What's going on?
Of course, I don't want to forget giving a shout out to Munting Mungo, who said hi earlier, all the way from the cold, frozen tundra of Canada. So shout out to Munting Mungo. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you're still here. Hope you're enjoying Mandalorian with us as well.
Yes.
Francisco here. All right, Derek, speaking of the babies of a big old mama, this scene gave me nightmares. Or it would have if I actually watched it at night. Thanks for the follow, Toxic Draven. So, man.
Thank you, Toxic.
Spiders. Why did it have to be spiders?
Spiders. I got Lord of the Rings vibes here. I don't know if anyone else did. Lord of the Rings, like The Hobbit, like, when they fought those spiders, which I love because it's like so D&D vibe, right? Like they fell in this hole. They got to figure out how to get out of here. And it's like all these spiders, man. It was freaky though. I agree with you, man. Like, why did it have these spiders? Come on.
Oh, so it was insane, right? Spiders. So how did they get to this situation, Derek? They got shot down, or they had to take evasive maneuvers in the Wave Crest. Wave Crest?
Yes.
Am I getting that right? Wave Crest?
Razor Quest.
Razor Crest. Thank you.
That's such
Razor
a
Crest.
tongue twister because it's R, and I can't for some reason. I keep wanting to say Quest, like Razor Quest,
because it rolls off the tongue better. Razor Quest.
RC. Let's call it RC from now on, chat.
The old RC. The old remote control.
RC. Yeah.
So they had to take evasive maneuvers because they ran into some X-Wings along the way because they couldn't use warp drive. They couldn't warp to the destination planet for some reason. It had to do with the eggs. It wasn't fully explained why. And they were pulled over by some X-Wing, piloted by two familiar faces.
Yes, very familiar faces.
One being the man himself, Dave Filoni.
Yes.
Our Lord and Savior.
Awesome.
Dave Filoni. And the other one, for those of you Netflix fans or people up in Canada, like Munting Mungo, you might know him as Appa from Kim's Convenience.
Yeah. I noticed right away. Kim's Convenience, like, oh, wow, this guy from Kim's Convenience. Okay.
And apparently he's a huge Star Wars fan. And
that's awesome.
And Filoni is a fan of Kim's Convenience. And Deborah Chow, director Deborah Chow, one of the Elite 5 directors of The Mandalorian,
Elite 5,
is friends with him. So, I think his name is Paul Sung Kim. So they're friends, and they connect. They were messaging, as friends do, as you and I do from time to time. And she was like, Filoni's a huge fan of Kim's Convenience, and he's like, I'm a huge fan of Star Wars. And she's like, he's writing a role for you. Would you be into it? And he's like, yes, I'd be so into it. And for him, it was huge because it was a representation thing. It was seeing a Canadian, Korean in a Star Wars show. In Star Wars. So it was huge for him. With that aside, Derek,
if you guys ever need Filipinos, just saying, John and Dave, we're here.
I can hold a blaster. I could holster a lightsaber.
I'll even wear a mask, whatever you want. Just I don't even care if I'm like far off, like just like that's that little dot. That's me right there.
Oh man. Oh, Francis, I think Toxic Draven is asking why you hate spiders. Spiders are, they can be scary. They can be scary for a lot of people.
Arachnophobias, yeah, definitely. I mean, they're creepy. Those ones, they just got some weird looking spiders too, in Star Wars. So
yeah.
And no, I mean honestly, like kind of going on that too. I was gonna say, Harold, it's the thing I like about this, besides like the D&D kind of like feeling, is that it gives you that like remembrance of how different and unique the Star Wars universe is, right?
Yeah.
These little creatures here and there just makes you like kind of go in and focus, like, wow, this world is just huge, Well, you never know what's out there.
It's a galaxy. We've never seen spiders like these outside of the games. So I'm glad we got a nod to these. They gave us a different kind of episode, which is sort of what we're getting, right? Each episode isn't exactly, Mando on his quest precisely. Like, that's always the major overarching plot. But this episode had a bit of an alien theme to it, right? It had trying to get away from the big baddie, or in this case, big baddies, because all the spawns and the hatchlings that, super hungry. They're on an ice planet. They're just living beings too, you know, trying to survive. And yeah, so Mando and crew crash land, and they gotta get out. Things look dire until we hear blasters firing, Derek. And who else do we see but Appa and Filoni?
Appa, yeah.
Okay, they had hilarious dialogue, right? Not in the traditional slapstick sense. But,
right.
Oh, there's Filoni there. Not in the traditional slapstick sense, but in the sense that, wow, all right, these guys have the humor enough to be like, all right, we'll let you live, all right. Just get your papers in order.
Yeah. Get that little hunk of metal, get that fixed, you know?
Yeah.
Get it out of here.
And Din's like, why don't you give me a tow, and I'll be sure to have that going. And he's like, how about you fix your papers and we won't shoot you out of the sky?
Yeah, right. I know, right?
Next time we see you. So, oh man. So it shows that they're not the fittest officers of the Republic, Derek. These X-Men fighters, but they are no less badass. But they're also super nice, right? They know that Din has done a lot of good things, and that's why they've kind of pardoned him, you know. And I like that. You know, they're not cut and dry. Like, you're a bounty hunter. You break the law all the time. No, they see that he's done good things, and they kind of bailed him out.
You know, and like speaking of like how like you were mentioning them being tough, I hate to bring up the new trilogy, sadly, but you know, it kind of makes you wonder, right? Because you know, in 7, when we watch 7, we find out that the Jedi rebellion, all this stuff is like almost like a magical story told, right? It's like something happened, but like you could obviously see here in this episode that presence is still pretty known. You know what I mean? Like they're almost an authority, right? It's not like, well, what do you mean rebellion? This thing's over. I'm not gonna listen to you guys, right? Well, it's I kind of like seeing that. I kind of like seeing, regardless of this grand fall, you still have the resistance, the rebellion trying to keep things in order, right? So,
they're aiming to build this new republic, because after a rebellion, there has to be order. There has to be order that's established, and that's what they're trying to do, right?
Yeah.
And oh man, all these details, all these amazing details being squeezed into an episode about freaking keeping a new species alive and freezing in sort of a
good.
What's that James Franco movie, 128 Hours sort of situation where they're stuck?
Yeah.
Ish, right? Yeah. Oh man, it's awesome. Okay, 3rd episode. We finally make it to this planet that they've been aiming for, and first thing that happens is they sort of make it. they don't really. They crash land into the water after sort of a maneuver that makes it look like they're safe.
It was a trap.
Is it? Oh, sir. We got It wasn't established, right? It wasn't really specified if this was Mon Cala.
Yeah. Well, no. They said Mon Calamari, right? He calls them at the end.
Yeah, there's a Mon Calamari, but you don't really see.
True.
Like, not everyone is a Mon Calamari either.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It could be just like a spaceport planet or something. A lot of. We've seen this in real life where. Ports are kind of a way for people to like go from one place to another, and that kind of that's kind of the feel I get from this. It's kind of Kultiris in World of Warcraft, right? Where it's a port, Booty Bay, But you see a couple of Mon Calamari. You see I forgot what the squid people are called. Shoot,
let's call them the Davy Jones.
The Davy Jones is right. I know it's like a Q name, like a Kuwari or something like that.
Yeah,
but
it's
kind of the bad guys in this episode.
Yeah, I think lore-wise too. Weirdly, I don't think them and the Mon Cala type races. I don't think they really get along, from what I know. So it's kind of interesting to see. Maybe it's just kind of like a labor type job where it's like whatever. It's just the kind of type of planet it is. Doesn't seem very populated, to be honest. So probably was just kind of like, you know what, we'll do our thing, you do your thing, just leave us alone.
And you know who else did their thing, Derek? Bo freaking Katan makes their entrance into the live-action universe, played by none other than Katie Sackhoff, the voice actress of Bo-Katan.
I love that.
Physically.
Thank you, Dave.
Bodies.
And thank you, Katie. Sorry. Thank you. I'm so happy.
Okay, context.
You guys like the fact that, like, dude, that's just like the dream. You have the voice actress who played the actual character, and she looks so good as Bo-Katan, dude. Yes. Like, oh my god, dude. When I saw that the owl shading on her helmet, I was like, I jumped out of my seat. I wish I did like a live reaction. I was like, no way. And then we didn't get any. I mean, at least from what I searched, we had the little hints of people who might show up in the show. I did not see that one coming at all. So we
had some leaks. Right? Rosario Dawson is a
exactly.
Jedi.
We had that leak.
Tim William Morrison.
Yeah, I did not see that one, and I was happy to see this one. And it was, dude, and it's perfect. The reason why I like this chat is it's like she knows the mannerisms. She knows how to like act it out. She's been doing it her like whole life as Bo-Katan. It's like, and just to see it like on the live screen was like so good, man. Yeah. And we also learned that, speaking of that, we learned a lot. We learned a lot from their meeting. We learned, she takes off her helmet, and we all know, oh no, Jin's is gonna say, why do you take off your helmets, right?
Yeah,
and
dude.
You find out,
he freaks out.
He freaks out, and then one of the Bo-Katan's members, he was like, oh, he's one of them, and you find out that he's part of the Death Watch. That's where Jin, he's like part of the selective group, right? That try to resurrect and bring back the old ways, as Bo-Katan said it, right?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, technically, he's right? Like, technically, his way is the way. But, like, dude, for me, I thought this was huge. Yeah, definitely outdated, but, like, for me, like, from the first episode, how he trusted Bo-Katan so much was, like, for me, I like that, right? Because obviously, she's supposed to be the rightful leader. And for him to kind of understand that, he's like, okay, well, you know what? I kind of see my people here. So, maybe
she's kind of just got that presence, right? Even if you didn't know, she's got that air of her of like, okay, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. And he had no idea, right? He's like, Death Watch? What do you mean?
They don't even say death. They say the Watch.
Oh, the Watch. You're right. I'm sorry.
Because they don't want to, pre-Vizsla, Jon Favreau's character was voiced by Jon Favreau. Long gone.
It was.
All right.
Yeah.
And what we've gotten from this is, since then, Death Watch or the Watch have kind of just tried to survive, and they do what they did with Din, and they get orphans. They try and continue the Mandalorian way of rescuing people and raising them in this like cult-like version of the Mandalorian way, which is of course tradition. It's the older way. If you guys have seen the Clone Wars, people like Duchess Satine, who is Bo-Katan's sister, you've tried to veer away from this more warlike way of doing things, and when we see in Rebels, it's still kind of part of who they are. So it's a lot of warring within this planet, which we're not too unfamiliar with here on planet Earth. A lot of people with dissimilar opinions trying to vie for public sway. So these guys with the owls and blue armor, Bo-Katan's folk, they're trying to restore balance in a sense, and trying to gain back control, which I'm kind of curious about, Tarek. Last we saw the Mandalorians and Rebels, Sabine kind of gave control to Bo-Katan, if I remember correctly. And Sabine went off with a Jedi, or a very powerful Force user, to look for a character named Ezra. Ezra Bridger. So since then we haven't heard much, and that's what Bo kind of gives us in exposition, right? Since then, the Void Saber was lost. The Dark Saber, was lost, and that's what they're trying to get back. They know Grand Moff Gideon, or Moff Gideon, has it, and that's what they're after. That's what a lot of this episode is about.
Dude, can I just say, I don't know how young Bo-Katan was supposed to be in Clone Wars, but like technically right now she should be pretty old, and she looks pretty good. I'm just saying. She looks pretty good.
Good genes, man. When you work out, I think this is proof that when you work out, kind of keep that youthful glow. You know, you kind of stay fit.
This really must be the way. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Sir.
But I actually want to highlight something on this too before this episode, before we head off to. I thought the very end, I might be overlooking it, but maybe you guys in chat felt the same way, or maybe you as well, Harold. I thought when Moff Gideon, they had that scene right where they kind of knew they were kind of screwed, and Moff Gideon's like, well, you know what you got to do, and basically was kind of hinting, you got to bring down the ship, right? That line he said, the long live the Empire. I feel like for me that kind of stood out to me. Like has a Sith Lord ever said this? Has someone in command before ever said this? This seems like almost like the way he said it was like a doctrine, or like, you know, something like long live the Empire. Like, so it was taught to him almost, you know? So I'm like, why when I heard that, I'm thinking like, hey, did Palpatine say that? Like, no, it doesn't seem like,
no.
I mean, it does kind of sound like something he would say, but no, right? It's like, so I'm kind of wondering, does Moff Gideon have a master? I mean, that is a grand question, but I don't know. That just really stuck out to me. Really did. And I'm just like, long live the Empire. So that means there's definitely a plan. Someone is trying to resurge this.
I mean, we kind of got hints about this from The Force Awakens, right? Since the fall of the Empire, there's been these loyalists to the Empire that have continued to fight for control. And that was kind of the whole point of The Force Awakens, was the Resistance is trying to, or the Republic, the New Republic, were trying to squash this until the New Order made themselves public.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So and then the New Order had to become the Resistance. So it's all kind of, it's all tying together. Filoni and Favreau are being very respectful of what's happened in the past and what has happened, or what will happen in the future. I love how they're kind of getting around all of this.
Yeah, you're right. They're giving us so much, but they're also doing it so well, like carefully, right?
Yes.
They're being very careful, but like they're giving us just enough to be like, dude, like I haven't felt this way about Star Wars in so long, man, and I'm so happy. So like Clone Wars, it kind of got me there too, the last season, but man, dude, they're doing such a good job. If I had to bash one thing, you guys just, Dave and John, just please, the Elite Five, can you guys please just stop putting like when Baby Yoda also in this episode got freaking shoved off that thing, I jumped up again. I'm like, no, stop doing that. It's too much for my heart. It's too much for my heart, man. Dude, when he went in there, I'm like, how is he gonna live? And then, and he got eaten. Yeah. I was like, yeah, this is the end.
So what Derek's talking about is when Baby Yoda inside the metal cradle got shoved into the water and kind of eaten by like a water sarlacc looking thing.
Actually looked like the spider kind of little mix between both, right?
Yeah. Here we're gonna get a good look at it, and there
that bastard, God, just freaking yeeted him in there. How dare you?
How dare they? Okay, so again, the main point of this episode: establish who the Watch are, and set. Of course, introduce Bo-Katan, Sasha Banks, and the knockoff Antonio Banderas
episode.
Oh god! And set Din on his way. So one of the things that Bo-Katan says was, "You got to take him back to his people." So who are his people? The Jedi. We know who the Jedi are. In the past, they were our sworn enemies, but things have kind of grayed out since then. We know one. Ahsoka Tano, look for her. That name, Derek, that name alone,
that name just sent, yes, man, chills and tears, man. Like finally it's happening. I'm so happy to hear this, man. And oh my god, just that name, it was so subtle, guys. They didn't give you like you have to look for Ahsoka Tano. No, it's just so, like, I love the way they did it too. They didn't overkill it. And like you kind of know now that Bo-Katan's on like she's on her quest to get the dark saber, right?
Yeah.
So that's she's probably gonna come back, which is awesome. But man, that was like the line for me, because when I first watched this episode, I was like, this is the best episode of Mando, for sure. Like for me, like honestly, you have Bo-Katan live action stuff. They're bringing back story. They're making you guys want to watch Clone Wars, because you guys need to if you haven't. You guys,
Yes.
it's so important. Like,
Francis wants to watch Clone Wars now and Rebels.
Yeah, if you watched it and then saw this episode, you would like literally flip. Cause it's just, it was so heavy, man. The impact of that show, it's a lot more than it looks like. I promise you. But yeah, nonetheless, man, we were all excited for Ahsoka the next episode, but
we didn't get it.
We did not.
We didn't get it.
No, we did not.
I do want to say though, Francis, I agree with you. Nailed it. Katie Sackhoff was 100% the right choice to play Bo-Katan.
Yes,
100%.
100%.
You could have gotten a different actress, but Katie Sackhoff, perfect. Starbuck herself. Stop talking about Starbucks earlier. Starbuck herself.
Yeah.
No one else. No one else. All right, Derek. We move into the next episode. Episode 4. I think this is chapter 13. Someone correct me if I'm wrong.
I think you're right. Yeah, chapter. Oh no, this is chapter 12. I think 13 was the newest
12.
one. I think.
I'm so confused right now because
the
of the
siege.
numbering.
That is the title of
the
chapter, the siege. This is there you go.
This first scene, I was like, okay.
I know.
So the child understands the language. I'm still not sure after that scene. You know, he's just Din is just trying to like tell him like put the red wire where the blue one
goes.
And put the blue. I was like, even a normal person would have a hard time being confident with these instructions. Did all right?
I know, and he's just so adorable, man. I'm just like, I just want to grab his cheeks and just squeeze it, man. It's just like, he's just like,
Why don't you do it, Derek? Why don't you just squeeze those cheeks right now?
I know. Let me. Dude, like. And it was just so funny, you know, and he was just kind of like, oh, put them together, and he gets like electrocuted. I was like, oh my God. It was just, you gotta love it, man. That's the Star Wars banter that's good. Okay?
Yeah.
Not the General Hux humor from 7, excuse me, from 8. Not that crap, not throwing lightsabers. No, this right here.
Oh, man,
God,
the lightsaber
very
those
adorable.
Things.
I know this thing's very hard, man. But yes, very good way to start off the episode with the cute nod there. I like that a lot too.
Then we get a bit of a cartoon badassery. She takes out a whole room of evil some bad guys. Before Mando meets her and forgetting his character name. Oh man,
the guild leader. Let's just say that.
Yeah, the guild. I keep
guild leader.
His real name.
It's Chubbs, man. It's Chubbs from
Chubbs.
Happy Gilmore. Yeah, let's just say
it's Chubbs. So he meets Chubbs and Kara. So we're back at that planet where Din had all that craziness go on in the first season.
Yeah.
The big shootout with Gideon. Where he met not Unkar Plutt. What's his name? I have spoken. Freaking.
Yeah. Oh God, now that's. I forget too.
I can't not say his name. Hold on. We have to respect him.
I know. Because he has spoken. Literally, he has spoken.
Quill.
Freaking Quill. Quill.
Rest in peace, Quill.
Rest in peace, Quill.
So we get them walking through all of this, and we find out that there's been some disturbances, Derek.
Yeah.
Some disturbances on the outskirts of the town. And it turns out to be at a hidden, sort of semi-secret Empire, what we think is just like a storage area. Not really storage area, but like a tower or a base, a hidden base.
Yeah.
But much to our surprise, Derek, we see some clones. We see some tanks full of clones.
This for me raised questions and concerns. So it was both exciting and also not for me. I'll say why, just because when I first thought this, I'm sure a lot of people did too, possibly you guys did, chat, is that I hope they're not trying to like make sense of the Palpatine thing. That's like was my first thought. Like, they talked about entering Force into bodies, and I because honestly everyone knew that Palpatine coming back thing was just ridiculous. Like obviously it could have been good, but they did not write it well. And I was hoping, because as we all know, guys, as much as I hate Kathleen Kennedy, she's literally in the background of this show still. She's still an executive like producer, I believe. Yeah. But she's definitely there. So I hope it wasn't thrown in there like, okay, we gotta make sense of this, guys. We gotta kind of fix what we did. Let's a little sprinkle. I'm hoping it's just its own thing and it's nothing related. That's what I'm really praying for, because it's very interesting, right? It's definitely
because the scientist, the doctor guy who experimented on the child, was actually talking about inserting M into the subjects. Yeah, and by M, exactly. Derek, we only can conclude that he's talking about midichlorians.
Yeah, not Mandalorian count. No, guys.
Oh my god, no.
Yeah, midichlorian count.
Midichlorian count. And for those that are familiar, back in Star Wars Episode 1, George Lucas kind of gave everyone a whirl when he explained the science of the Force being midichlorians, living beings inside of us that some people have more of, which gives us a stronger connection to the Force. It was weird. It goes against what he was initially talking about when he first wrote Star Wars, where anyone could be a Jedi. Anyone could have a strong sensitivity to the Force if they tried. It was weird. So, to Derek's point, Derek, to your point, that could be one way of looking at it. They could be hinting at early attempts at cloning, maybe not necessarily Palpatine himself.
Like Snoke or something. I hope not. But
right, because Snoke was a failed clone of Palpatine. And this, using Force M's midichlorians from different subjects could explain why Snoke had his own consciousness or his own personality. Yeah, that's one way you could look at it. But we also saw a bunch of suits of dark stormtrooper armor that could hint at Force-sensitive elite operatives within the Empire, and that could be what they're trying to create, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's I was gonna say badass. That kind of made me feel a little bit better. And I was actually surprised to see the Dark Troopers, guys. That was in a really, really old game. I think it was Star Wars Rebellion. It was so old, but like it's like goes back to what I said about the first episode. Them bringing back things, man. Like I love that. Like bring back like ancient lore and try to make good of it again. They actually did that in Episode 7, believe it or not. Like when Kylo Ren stopped the blaster and the Force torture, that's definitely very old Sith stuff. And I like the lab thing too. It's like Sith alchemy. That was a thing. Like, and it's kind of like they're testing stuff on people. I love that, man. It's like, yes, bring this back.
That's some old Republic stuff, man.
Yes, exactly. It's like, just please don't make this like related to the post trilogies in any way, please.
But if anyone could do it, Derek, I do want to say.
Yeah, you know what? If anyone could do it, you're right.
It'd be Dave and John.
Take the words right out of my mouth. That's perfectly said, my man.
Got you, buddy. I got you. So Francis is saying in the chat, he laughed out loud when he realized that Mithril, the blue guy, is actually Horatio Sands. I love that detail in the first episode, the very first episode where we see him get hunted down.
Has that like you could tell like I know this guy.
Yeah. Because there is a little bit of that SNL humor. You're right, Francis. Yeah. And Francis says, this is the exact quote from the scientist. I doubt we'll find a donor with a higher M count. So higher M count than the child, because he wasn't able to extract that much without killing him. Yeah. So they could be doing something scary. They probably are. It's the Empire after all. This whole episode is about that. Discovery of that. It's a bit of a setup. It's a bit of a wind-up to potentially more impactful things throughout the Star Wars galaxy. And, at the very end, we see more of Appa and Carl Weathers.
I know! More screen time this guy's getting, man. I'm like, damn, okay.
Love it. So overall, not the biggest, most exciting episode, but if you take it for what they're trying to build, which is a bigger galaxy, which also stretches out to more impact within what we already know, being the Empire and cloning and all of that. It's very, overall it's very exciting. When we move on to the next episode, Derek, this week's episode.
Okay, hold on. Let me just let's
brace ourselves a little bit.
This is gonna be the longer review, guys, because goddamn.
Let me take a big gulp here of my water.
Yeah, same. You know what? We gotta take a little pause, chat. By the way, chat, if you guys have not seen this, you need to honestly leave right now because it's a lot of stuff happened in this episode.
We didn't do this earlier, Derek, and I feel like I failed chat, but
holy spoiler alert!
There are spoilers for this week's episode of The Mandalorian. And if you have not seen this yet, we highly advise you to pause this stream and rewatch it later. All right? Oh my word, Derek. Oh my word. This part of the stream
First
is
of all,
brought to you by...
Oh yeah, go for it.
Sorry, this part of the episode is brought to you by Panel's Comic Book Coffee Bar for our friends over in the West Coast. Why don't you grab yourself a cup of coffee, and while you're at it, grab yourself some comic books. Yes, Panel's Comic Book Coffee Bar, open and ready to serve you. Derek, Panel's Comic Book Coffee Bar over at Suite A 713 Mission Avenue, Oceanside, California, also offers deliveries for your comic books. Isn't that right?
Yes, they do. And where can you guys do this? I'm going to link that for you right in chat, guys. But for those who are just listening, it is leagueofcomicgeeks.com. I linked that in the chat there for you guys. All you got to do is if you're not in California, or even if you aren't, I did the same thing. You can still make panels your store. They deliver like all across the US, guys. But basically what you do is you pick the store, you add it to them as your comic store, you start pulling comics, they reach out to you, and they decide how you want it sent. So in my case, I use Panel's Comic Book Copy. They're really great, really professional. They're very polite, guys. They're very sweet. They ask me if I want to get single issue sent, or if they actually bulk it and then send it. So it's very cool. And on a Star Wars note, I've actually read the most recent Kylo Ren chapter, and it's canon. It's really good. And you guys, they take very good care of their comic books too. So it's not like, I know some places you kind of people wonder if I should trust them or not, but guys, very trustworthy. And of course, if you don't choose them as your store, just support your local comic book store, guys. Very important, especially around this time. Means a lot. Yeah, go check them out, guys. Leagueofcomicgeeks.com. Really easy to set up, and it's very awesome. Check it out.
Oh, indeed, Derek. And you know what else is awesome? Francis has already alluded to it in the chat. Because
I almost slipped.
With
this.
Careful.
I almost said the real name of Baby Yoda multiple times on the stream.
Careful with the child, Derek,
after.
because
we
got the reveal that we've all been waiting for. Well, a lot of us have been waiting for, ever since that third episode of this season. We saw white lightsabers, baby.
Yeah, I know, dude. God.
I kid you not, chat. Thing.
Who is this? Who is this? Dude, I kid you not. I literally ate popcorn because I knew this episode was gonna be it, right? There were hints. I think Disney Plus posted that the next episode's called The Jedi. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna eat popcorn. So I'm sitting down, the episode recap. I'm hearing I'm watching, hear blasters, and then I hear, and I was like, dude, I threw my popcorn. I was like, whoa, what? Already? So I had to go back and start it from the beginning because I was not prepared. It was just action, right hot at the start, man. Oh,
that's
God.
Right, Derek. Every single beat from those first few minutes, man. Pure adrenaline. So can I say this, Derek? I was not expecting to enjoy Jedi action in a Mandalorian show this much, because I said this last time when we talked about the Mandalorian. I wanted it to focus on the rest of the galaxy. I wanted it to focus on someone slinging a gun, because that's what this is about. It's about this bounty hunter trying to get stuff done. All right, the Void Saber was very questionable for me. I was like, why are they tying all this in?
Dark Saber,
I just want more of the rest of the galaxy. And then we get this. All right, we get one not so Jedi, maybe Jedi, Force Master badass user wielding one full lightsaber and one shoto. All right, with the neutralist of neutral whites, ghosting in and out, stabbing, slashing, hacking away at these bad guys. Like the menace that she is, of a phantom variety, Derek.
Oh. And no, it's not the night nurse. No. It's Dude, when I saw who it was, I'm like, I love this fucking show, dude. Goddamn. Oh, man. I'm going to make a bold statement that a lot of people probably are not going to agree or not 100%. This one episode for me was better than the whole trilogy of Post for me. I'm sorry. Dude, right when I watched this, I'm like, how could one episode be so much better than... You know what, chat? You know what's funny? I guarantee you, if you take the action from this episode and compare it to the action in the whole trilogy Post, guarantee you it's pretty close on the actual fighting time. That's how sad it is. But it's also very... Dude, this is so beautiful. I was just mentioning on episode 3 of the season how the live action stuff coming to light is such like a... Dude, when I saw her and like... After this epic fight scene, she walks up, right? And you hear her song, dude. Her literal, like, her theme. I teared up, man. Yeah, dude, I was like, oh my God, dude, this is... And I knew right away that this Dave Filoni episode, this for sure. Like, oh my God, dude, it's so good. You guys, I can't even... I mean, dude, the sound, if you guys watch this too with your, like, I watch this with my headsets, I definitely noticed the sounds of the lightsabers were very, like, so I'm a very big sounds guy. So I could tell, like, the sounds they used were, like, 7, 8, 9 sounds from the lightsabers, which was awesome because the hums are a lot deeper. But you also have, the high-pitched white. It's like, it's Ahsoka, you guys. I just couldn't believe it, man. Oh, Herald, dude, this was just, for me, was so good, man. I want to watch it again. Like, for me, man, You've seen it like 5 times, right? I have. I've seen it once by myself, watched once with Kevin, once with my wife, and once with my dad. So 4 times. 4. Oh my gosh, dude. Okay. You guys. Let's unpack this a little bit, all right? Let's unpack this a little bit. Yeah. Ahsoka Tano, you mentioned, Derek, you don't know how this one episode could be as good as a set of movies. I can tell you how. Seasons worth of setup for a character that many people thought they would hate. Yes. All right. Harold, that's right, man. A lot of people didn't think, like, why would Anakin have a Padawan? This was never mentioned in the movies. Yeah. And by the end of the Clone Wars, we're on the edge of our seats to find out what exactly happens to this character, who has now become a beloved part of Star Wars history, Star Wars lore. They've explained it quite well, what her role was. Long story short, for the people who have no idea who Ahsoka is, or if you've heard about her and you want to know why are people so in love with her now and why the Jedi never talked about her, her fallout with the Jedi Order was so massively impactful, was so public, that her leaving the Order was sort of seen as one of their greatest failures, one of their greatest shames. And it probably was emphasized even more so by the end of the era of the Old Republic, by the end of the era of the prequel trilogy. And it thoroughly explains, if you watch the Clone Wars, why exactly it was that Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda, all these other Jedi that have had interactions with her couldn't stomach the fact that they mentioning her name. And it's also all tied into the movies. If you watch the final 2 episodes of the Clone Wars, it's actually all tied in. You see that she's actually still active during Revenge of the Sith. Yes. Which is something we've talked about in the past. So, seasons worth of build-up, movies worth of impact in this movie. And it was very epic. It was very nice there's something about us as humans that we want to see something animated turn into live action and done right. And that's definitely true. Even though we didn't get the same Bo-Katan treatment where we got the voice actress who originally is Ashley Eckstein playing Ahsoka Tano, we got an equally powerful and adept performer in Rosario Dawson playing a very powerful, adept Force user in Ahsoka Tano. So I was so happy. They could have just ended that episode and that scene, and I would have been like, yes. Dude, you said it right too, man. Like, honestly, at the beginning, I hated Ahsoka. Like, when they first introduced her, this is the stupidest thing they've ever did. But like, Dude, when you watch Clone Wars, you respect her so damn much, dude. Not even that, in Rebels too. Like, dude, you grow to love her. And it's just like, it was amazing to see her in here like live, man. It was just like, who ever would have thought this would happen, you know? It's just...
Yeah, and Anakin kind of feels the same way we do, right? He's not ready.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the idea of having a Padawan. We didn't either.
Yeah.
We hated the fact that he was getting a Padawan.
Yeah.
Little do we know, we were seeing things from Anakin's eyes because she eventually won us over. She became inseparable from how we viewed the Clone Wars.
Yeah. I agree. Dude, you know, on this scene, it didn't happen, the line didn't happen, but she's referred to her as a Jedi. I was waiting for her to say, I'm not no Jedi.
Yeah.
You know, I'm no Jedi, but she didn't, sadly. We all know she's not. But like, well,
no, I mean, there must
like,
have been some sort of Kanan Jarrus type of realization or spiritual knighting between the end of the Clone Wars and when we see her in Rebels or now, so maybe even between then and now, that has happened because this is a wiser Ahsoka. This is an older Ahsoka who is very aware of her place in the galaxy, right? She knows that she can't train the child, which was one of the key focuses of this episode, was Din trying to get the child back to his people. Maybe not necessarily the same race, but Jedi. People who know what being Force sensitive is like. Ahsoka knows what that's like. She talks about it throughout this episode, how she knows what the emotions can do to even the best of Jedi.
That hit home, man, when she said that. I hit me. She does like that stare too, you know, like she kind of like, I know what it does. And she kind of stares at like Jin, like with pain in her eyes, man. Like, it's not even just Anakin, guys. It's like Kanan and Ezra. She's like lived through so much of that tainting, dude. It's like, I'm so surprised the way like she is now, you know? She's a strong girl, man. Powerful woman, man.
And you can tell she too doesn't want to form too much of an emotional connection. She's been down that road.
Right.
It was harder for them to flesh it out in Rebels because she wasn't the key focus of Rebels. Right? She was just fulcrum. She was just someone trying to help them meet their end goal. But we see more of that here, where, you know, she tells with very few words the story of the past how many movies where you cannot, like, in her point of view, you cannot mix emotion with training as a Jedi, which we kind of were hoping would be proven false in the subsequent movies, in the sequel movies, and kind of fell apart. But with that being said, you know, all of this was brought about because the child who we have discovered, thanks to Ahsoka, is actually named Derek.
Grogu,
yes. So Grogu. Oh my God, he disappeared.
Very cute. Yeah, very cute when they said his name too. He was like, huh? I was like, oh God, you're so cute. Oh damn, dude, I just want to take you home. I mean, I did. But yeah. God.
So we find out he has an actual name. He was around the Jedi Order long enough. You know, he's 50 years old. He was being trained on Coruscant by the Jedi there, and he was sheltered away during the fall of the Order, during Anakin's terrorist attack on Coruscant. So he was spared that fate, but since then he's had to hide his powers, which is why his connection to it kind of isn't as strong as it would be for a 50-year-old. You know? He's one of the survivors. Makes sense. He's also formed an attachment to Din, sort of like a paternal thing, which we've seen already.
Yeah. Love that.
And she's afraid of separating Grogu from the Mandalorian. She's afraid of what that would do, what kind of resentment that would create, or what kind of anxiety that would create. Because we've seen that in the past. I immediately flashed back to Anakin feeling anxious and having nightmares of Shmi. His mom, Shmi Skywalker. So, Ahsoka knows exactly what that can do. So, I love this episode and how she
leads to
connected
hate.
with him. Yeah.
Hate leads to anger. Anger leads to. No. Man, like, dude, like they did so much in this episode, guys. We got Ahsoka, we got the name of Baby Yoda, but not only the name, dude. Like, dude, the Yoda's race, whatever it is. God damn, I wish I had their aging finesse, dude. Like, dude, you're telling me this guy is as old as the Clone Wars, and look how young he is. This is way past then. It's like, he's still a baby.
He's got Bo-Katan beat, man.
You know what's funny too? I discussed this with someone, and they brought up a good point that, you know how he kind of coos, right? And you kind of think, I wonder if he ever will speak English. But then you think about the only other person we know that's like him is Yoda. Yoda's English though was, oh, is that what it's called? I thought they never knew the race name. Was it Yaddle?
No, Yaddle was the female one in the Jedi Council.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're right. But like, you know, like we all know Yoda's English is not good, right? It's like the sentence structure. So it's like, it makes you think, is this their real language? Like, maybe that's what Yoda just learned for the sake of everybody, right? I mean, Yoda is also very, very old now. We get a glimpse of like Clone Wars to now. Like, damn, Oda must be ancient. Like,
he was saying in Return of the Jedi, he's like 800, right?
Yeah, like 800 or 900. Yeah. Somewhere between there. But like, that just kind of makes you wonder. Maybe the
900. Yeah, he's 900.
Yeah, maybe the Coos are like, that's like their real language, you know? It's kind of interesting to think about. But my thing was when Ahsoka said a Jedi took him and hid him. I want to know who that was. Like, and that's made my mind go places, you know? When she was like, and she didn't say it was like multiple. We all know she got trained by multiple masters, right? And trainers. But like when she said that someone hid him, and then from there it just goes dark. So I'm thinking, you know, who could that be? Who could take this child and hide it? Could it? For me, it's one of two things. I think someone might come back that was supposed to be dead, a Jedi, possibly, or
you think his hand is missing? You think like most of his forearm is missing?
Yeah,
maybe his hair is missing too.
Maybe his hair is missing. Maybe, you know. But I'm thinking though too, if it gets foggy for him, right? It's got to be someone who's pretty well strong in the Force. So yeah, it's got to be one of the two.
Okay.
Or it could. This is throwing it out there. It could have been Palpatine.
Oh, okay. I mean,
at this time when the transition happened, a lot of people trusted Palpatine, you know. And if he was, and as everybody knows, the Sith go after young people, and his mind just went like, I don't know. It's got to be a Jedi or something to make baby Grogu forget what happened. It's just kind of interesting. That kind of happened. So I don't know. I'm actually very curious to see where that story unfolds. I hope we know more, right? Or maybe we get a flashback scene. Maybe it was Obi-Wan or Yoda that hit him. That'd be kind of cool to see.
I think Obi-Wan had his hands full.
Oh, you're right. He did have his hands full. I couldn't imagine who would have hit him, you know, like during all that.
It's crazy. You know, the amount of Jedi hunting that happened during Order 66 onwards.
Dude, the amount. So much more story is in between the lines than we, you know. Yeah. It's crazy. I love it.
You know, one thing I want to be canon, or one person I want to be canon that could tie into what you want to happen as well. Starkiller, dude. Let Galen Merrick be the one. You know, we're talking about clones. That dude was getting cloned in Revenge of the not Revenge, freaking what's his game?
Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was getting cloned too. So I would love to see Galen Merrick, man. I would love to see Starkiller, played by freaking, gosh dang it, what's with our name recollection?
Darth Maul. Just kidding.
By his actor Sam Witwer. Sam Witwer,
yeah.
I would love to see Sam Witwer make an appearance as Galen Merrick. You know?
Yeah. Dude,
Palpatine's son. No, Beemo. I do not want Baby Yoda to be Palpatine's son.
No.
That's messed up.
Yeah, it's actually funny. I think Star Wars Theory actually put out a video that he thinks, like before this episode came out, that he actually thinks Mace is alive, and it was so out there. But like, there was one part that kind of like made sense. Because like we all know Qui-Gon was the one who learned about going into a ghost, right? Like a Force ghost when you die. And he actually didn't get it all the way right. He was the one to approach the shamans or whatever. Okay. And then he kind of learned it and he taught it to Yoda, right? And Yoda brought that to the attention of Obi-Wan at the end of 3. So from that logic, it had to have been taught. So Qui-Gon would taught Yoda, right? Okay. And then Yoda probably taught Obi-Wan, okay? But at the end of 9, this is a bad reference because it's episode 9, but we hear Mace Windu's voice. That's confirmed, right? Mm-hmm. So if this had to be taught when Qui-Gon was dead and Yoda was dead, how did Mace Windu learn to be a Force ghost? Because Qui-Gon, it's canon that Qui-Gon is the one.
I mean, Mace and Yoda had a lot of time during the Clone Wars to
bond. That's also a thought because Mace was literally like his second-hand man. Mm-hmm. Like, the theory of did he beat Palpatine? that's oh damn! Oh my God! I just got that. Oh God! My one good hand. Literally, goddamn. Oh shit! Damn, it is the right hand too. That's even funnier, dude. Oh, okay. Well, yes. So that's also a theory, but like I said in that Clone Wars scene, we've seen Samuel Jackson take that leap and be perfectly fine. He dropped down from that, but yeah, it was far out there. But I mean, aside from that, guys, I would love to see someone come back. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I have another idea, but it leads to the end of the episode. Let's kind of keep going along with what else happens during this the fights and stuff.
Okay, so let's move forward, Derek. Let's move forward a little bit on this episode real quick. I want to point this out. Yeah, we talking about age. I don't know if this was intentional. Yeah, we were talking about this when we were watching this for the first time. Me and my significant other, and the Leku of Ahsoka Tano are wrinkled. I don't know if that's a production thing or if it was on purpose to show her age. Right?
It's actually shorter too. If you think about it, the length of her.
I feel like that's a production thing.
Yeah, or they could just say it's like an age thing. Maybe it just gets shorter.
They kind of recede a little
bit.
Maybe. Yeah. I'd be down for that. But yeah, I just found it like a cool little, like if it is to show her age, it's not a bad way to do it because she's so grizzled at this point, but she still looks flawless. You know what I mean? Like she is also as old as the Clone Wars, Derek, at this point. And
dude,
this is after the Battle of Yavin, after the destruction of the second Death Star. She has to be like 7,000. No, she has to be like at least 50. I'm assuming at this point.
Dude, she
looks flawless, man.
Yeah.
And then Rosario Dawson.
She looks good.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah.
They couldn't have chose a better representative, honestly. They just did really good with that, honestly.
So cool. Okay, so we find out the plot of this episode is to free this town because it's being controlled by someone who owns a corporation, has ties to the Empire.
Yes.
This lady right here. All right. Esbeth.
Yes.
Just an amalgamation of Bethesda. No, she. Yeah, we'll find out more about her in just a little bit, Derek. But yeah, she already doesn't look like she's good. She looks like she's trouble, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's got HK.
You can see the age here. Yeah, they mentioned Clone Wars with her. I'm like, okay, she has gray hair. At least that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, her family was slain. Her entire race or planet was slain, and she was the only survivor. Very Sith move, if you ask me, Derek.
Yeah.
Very Sith move. Definitely. Very Thanosian of them to do. But you see some HK droids in the background. They've been known to be the deadliest assassin droids.
Yes.
In the time of Revan, I guess 90 iterations down the line, they're kind of wusses now. But they got wrecked by Din Djarin.
I love it. Yeah.
I
keep
love
bringing them back. Yeah, seriously, dude. It's so awesome. It just, you just know the producers are into it as much as you are, right? It's why it's so awesome.
Oh yeah, dude. Look at freaking Ahsoka just deflecting.
God, I know, man.
Like they're nothing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this all ends up with a showdown, right? Din and the right-hand man of Esbeth. What's her name? Sorry.
Esbeth.
Esbeth, sorry.
Esbeth.
Because she's terrorizing this town, right? And she's drained this planet's resources, kind of like someone who strip mines an entire canyon or an entire mountain. So that's what they're trying to prevent here on this planet. And we find out that there's more to it, right there. We find out that not only is this to save the town, it's actually for a greater cause.
Yeah.
We learned that Ahsoka is actually chasing Esbeth down because of her master. At first, I was like, Master, girl, is this lady a Sith? All right, because she's wielding that Beskar spear like she knows how to use it.
By the way.
Yeah. Turns out she's the apprentice, apprentice of one Grand Admiral, Derek. One blue-skinned, red-eyed Admiral Thrawn.
Oh God, that was crazy. I actually had to pause it there when that name got brought up. I'm like, hold up. Is my boy alive now too? Is Ezra alive? He's gotta be. He's gotta be, dude.
Man. This is
gotta be, man.
This is it.
Gotta be.
My gosh.
And
Derek,
you know why I also think it's gotta
ends.
be? Yeah, Harold, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I was gonna say. This is why I think it's gotta be, because like Dave and John have been giving us people that like are kind of the side stuff, like Clone Wars, and now we put the Rebels in there, you know? Like, dude, it has to be. Like, it's gotta be true, right? I hope it's true. God damn, that was true. God, these name throwers, dude. It's like, oh my God, that made me. If we see a live action Thrawn, well, we might. Why throw the name out, right? That's not gonna happen, right? I mean, I hope. I hope it's not just like a telegram of him talking. And that actually got me to thinking, as I mentioned before, who might be Moff Gideon's master? Maybe. That's possible. But, you know, it always seemed like Thrawn had his kind of own agenda. So I'm thinking maybe not. Maybe it's like another essence of the Empire that's just kind of trying to bring it, you know, do his own thing. But obviously Ahsoka has very deep ties with this character, let's just say. You guys, if you haven't, this is a Rebels reference. Definitely need to check it out if you haven't. If you need a time, now's the time to watch. Like,
and greater than a Rebels reference, Derek, Grand Admiral Thrawn has been one of the most feared Empire figures in the expanded universe as well, prior to the Disney acquisition. So when he finally appeared in Rebels, people were kind of deflated because he was sort of a side character, right? He wasn't as big a bad as he could have been, because this guy is the greatest tactician in the Empire. He was so good at his job that he was the only alien to rise up the ranks, because, you know, people may not know this. The Empire is very racist, all right? There's a reason why every Moff you see is human. It's because they don't appreciate other races. They enslaved the Wookiees. They enslaved, Derek, what's Kanan's bat buddy's race's name? Freaking...
Oh, the big guy.
Yeah. Oh my
Who's also
gosh.
the Jedi in Fallen Order too. The same
race.
Yeah.
His race. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on this now?
Here, I'll check it out. Gerald Paul is Gerald Paul.
Someone help me out.
Force sensitive. Lasat.
He's a Lasat. Yes, he was a Lasat.
Yeah.
Zeb. Freaking Zeb, man. All right. So they enslaved all those races. All right. So there's a reason why Thrawn is a badass, because he rose up the ranks when he shouldn't have been able to. Derek, we're mentioning all these Rebels characters. If we see Hera Syndulla, I'm gonna lose my stuff. Or if we see the son of Hera Syndulla and Kanan, I'm gonna lose my stuff.
I know. Oh my God, that's exactly what I was thinking too. Like, dude, if we just see any of them, I'm gonna lose my shit. Honestly,
What's the beam?
I'm already losing my shit. Like, just keep it up, guys. Dude, if this was the episode ender, I would have been happy with it. Like, but this is like midway, maybe. maybe a little bit more than midway.
I think we're getting 8 episodes, 5. So we'll get like 3
I
more
know, so I'm like, damn, what do they got for us on episode 8?
Oof.
You know, it makes me think. But before I go on to thinking that, I really liked towards the end, where it was really sad because we all thought he was gonna part ways with Baby Yoda, or excuse me, Grogu. But it can't happen, right? It can't be. The Mando is nothing without Baby Yoda, aka Grogu. So
we're in the spot, right, Derek? We're in the spot.
Yeah.
So real quick, Ahsoka defeated.
Oh yes. No, actually, that's what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
You didn't see what happens. So did she kill her or capture her?
I feel like she captured her because she needs the information, right? So I'm feeling like she kept her alive at the very end. All right. So that happens at the very end. We find out that Din has to take Grogu to Tython. Ahsoka mentions Tython. If you guys aren't familiar with Tython, for those of you who have heard of Star Wars: The Old Republic, the MMO that has been spawned from KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic with Revan.
SWTOR.
Tython, SWTOR. Tython is the starting planet for Jedi characters. All right, whether you're a Jedi Consular or a Jedi Knight, Sentinel or Guardian, that's the planet you start on. That's your starting zone. Is Tython, and that's where their academy was before it was moved on to Coruscant. All right, so Tython has a huge history with the Jedi. That's where a lot of these Old Republic trainees were sent to learn the ways of the Force. So it's this beautiful blue planet, and I'm curious to see what's happened to it, Derek, because we've never seen a mention of Tython in canon. Tython is actually one of the more recent additions in Star Wars, ethos. So the fact that they dropped that from a video game, Derek, we're getting all this fan service from Filoni and Favreau, and I'm loving it. These guys are respecting stuff that we as fans cherish, and I wish Disney would.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I'm glad. I'm super glad they're doing this, and this is where we're supposedly going, right? Grogu is supposed to make a decision whether he's. I feel like there's more to this, right? Ahsoka mentions that it's his choice whether he stays with Jyn or learns the way of the Force. And she hints that something will happen. A Jedi might come out and pick him up and choose him or whatever. It's very vague. It's all very vague. I'm sure there's way more to this that they can't explain yet. Right. Part of me wants to see more of Din, the Mandalorian himself, away from the child. I want to see where his adventures lead that don't relate to the Force. Right? Because there's a reason why we're seeing him. But I'm also excited to see where this could go, whether the child stays with him or not. Because I don't want the child to be his crutch. Is my main point. Right? I don't want the child to be the constant I have to look after him. I want to see some development, whether it's a time skip or a temporary I'll come back every now and then to check on you, kid, kind of thing. I want Din to evolve as a character outside of I'm shipping this kid off to his people.
Yeah, exactly. We actually missed that too. We forgot to mention the fact that Ahsoka sensed fear inside of Grogu. That was also an important thing. Yeah. That was crazy to me. I'm like, he has anger. So that that's just something to think about too for Jin's case, as you were saying, right? I think he knows that too, right? He's like, the more he needs training, the more he needs to separate from me, and because he can't be there forever. He can, but probably not likely. So I'm with you too.
And it reinforces the whole Jedi way of that's why you get them as kids, because you want to get to them before they let that take over.
Yes. Yeah. Don't let their mind get entangled. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I'm still not 100% on board with the Jedi way. I still feel like there's a way to balance your emotions to be in the middle, right? You don't have to be a freaking monk to be good to be a good Jedi, as Luke has taught us prior to his manic depression and semi-retconning. So Francis Derek is mentioning in the chat, they're basically tying up all the loose ends from different patches of the extended universe as well as other forms of media, which I very much appreciate. And with all that tying up of the loose ends, actually opening up even more possibilities, which is what I want these shows to explore. And I say shows, Derek, because there are nods to, or hints, or maybe rumors of Ahsoka Tano getting her own spin-off, which, what else is Rosario Dawson doing these days? I'm out for that. Yeah. I want to see that tackle the Force side of things. I want to see a young Luke, played by Sebastian Stan, make a cameo. I can't go an episode without mentioning that, Francis. I'm sorry. I want to see Din get more of the seedy underbelly of the Star Wars galaxy, not just the Force side of things, because we can get that anywhere else. We've gotten that through movies. I want to see the dirty underbelly of the Star Wars galaxy, the Hutt cartels. What have they done since the fall of Jabba, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's
what does
interesting
Coruscant's
too.
Layers look like? Because we know that the underlayers of Coruscant are actually deep, seedy, and very, very gross and grimy, and it's an underworld. So I want to see all of that.
Yeah.
Standing Stan. Yes, I am standing Stan as a Luke.
Standing Stan, I like that.
Yeah, man. And I want to see all of this. Freaking Thrawn, man. So yes, moving forward, since that's the topic that we're on right now, I want to see more of the Jedi now that we've actually gotten a Jedi on the small screen.
No, that's what I wanted to kind of go off too. Like, the more Jedi, I thought it was interesting that Ahsoka actually said there aren't many Jedi left instead of there's only a, you know what I mean? Because technically right now it should be technically only her and Luke.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so it's kind of interesting. Yeah, and Leia. And so it's very interesting for her to say, and just going back to that statement, when she said bring him to the planet, right, and go to the Seeing Stone, what did you think of when you heard that? I'm just curious. Because I thought of Fallen Order. The first temple you go to is that like literal Seeing Stone. It's like the one of the most beautiful temples you ever seen. So I'm thinking it might be something like that. Because that also made me question. We didn't know what happened to. Sorry, spoiler alert. If you haven't played Fallen Order, we don't know what happened to Cal at the end, right? He still lives after that. Yeah. So, I mean, he could make an appearance. I don't see that as not an option.
Dude, like the kid who plays Jeremiah on Gotham, I would love to see him as Cal Kestis in live action, dude.
Dude, I know, right? That guy would be like perfect for the role. It's like weird. No, but dude, I mean, it's possible because we didn't see what happens. Obviously, they might do other spinoff games, but
they probably will, right? They probably will.
Right. I mean, it was just kind of interesting to me that like that was the first thing, because in any Star Wars related thing, Seeing Stone, like temple, that was the only thing that came to mind, was that type of temple in that game, which is pretty cool, to be honest. Like, they did a really good job of that. So I think that was like on the planet Bogano or something was like the name. But,
yeah, it was Bogano. Wow, look at your memory, man.
Yeah, I was just like, because like I was thinking if that planet she mentioned was, I was like, wait, is that the same planet? And I'm like, no, wait, that's Bogano. But then Bogano was a planet that was secret, so maybe, but whatever. There's probably a temple or like another temple that are the same. We could see Luke, because she did say, if Mark Hamill shows up in this show, I will lose my shit indefinitely. Because when she was like, someone might reach out to him in the Force, I'm like, okay, this could be the episode too. I'm sure Mark Hamill appreciates this a lot more than what he was in. I'm not going to speak for his behalf, but from the interviews, you could definitely tell he wasn't.
It can't get worse.
Yeah, it can't get worse. So, I mean, if he wasn't here, I wouldn't be. Oh God. And who knows? They might have reached out to them, like, guys, I love what you're doing. Like, well, Mark,
dude, like, imagine a scene where like, he's training some younglings, and in the background you hear him get called by Leia. Oh, you hear like a pre-recorded Luke.
Oh God! See, I love it. The timeline here is so crucial too, because is this the time? Is Ben Solo being trained right now? Right. Another question:
is he even born yet?
Yeah. Could Adam make an appearance as the good guy? Because he has his own comic right now. Kylo Ren does.
Oh,
it's really interesting. Yeah, it literally starts from the start, like that scene where Luke kind of.
I think it's too soon to have Kylo. I think it's too soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely I would love to see his story a lot more because, to be honest, his was the only story arc that I really appreciated in the post trilogy. So, yeah, but man, it's just, guys, they're opening worlds, theories,
literally,
and things.
literally.
This is like what should have happened a long time ago with Star Wars, and it's back. I'm so happy. I also want to know too, what do you guys think? What do you guys think Jin's gonna do with the Beskar? I think he might smelt it and make a missile for his jetpack. Just saying, because he doesn't have one yet, right?
I mean, he needs a little harpoon gun. Just harpoon that thing.
Ooh, true. Well, oh yeah. Also, a good thing to mention is that Beskar can kind of withstand Jedi blades or lightsabers. That's definitely pretty cool.
Lore-wise, it makes sense, right?
Yeah, Star Wars vibranium.
Yeah,
right.
If they were sworn enemies, like that would have made sense.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Right. I love
before
that.
vibranium tech, right? Before they were able to figure that out, they were like, we need something that doesn't get cut by this crazy, by these crazy wizards. Oh man, Beskar's so cool. All right, so Derek, with that being said, our first 5 episodes. All right. We're not gonna rate them one by one yet. All right, we'll save that for the very finale. Okay?
Yeah, I like that.
Because we're gonna have the folks over from Panels Comic Book Coffee Bar on the show.
Yeah.
And we're gonna tackle these one by one, our ratings one by one. But so far, Derek, how are you feeling in your cockpit of cockpits? How are you feeling about Star Wars, about Mandalorian, about everything?
Throttle real quick. I'll give it that's what I give it.
Excellent. Me too. Actually, we were thinking the same thing. We were thinking,
right? Dude, on a serious note, I stand by what I said. This one episode was like, Mando is just better, honestly. In a bigger sense, Mando is better than the whole post trilogy. So, but this episode, I definitely gotta give it a 9, never a 10. Never can be perfect. Nothing can be perfect, but this came pretty damn close. I'll just say that. This came pretty damn close, man. This is what I wanted, man. This is all I wanted in the post. Dude, we didn't get any like cool fight scene like this. I'd rather watch this 100 times than any fight scene in the post trilogies. That's like, it's bad to say, man, because there's not really fight scenes to watch in the post trilogy. Oh, I just keep remembering Juancho, dude, that line he said to me on 8, like not 2 lightsabers clashed ever in the whole movie, and that just like struck me so hard. I'm like, you're so
8 or
right.
9? Because 8, I'm pretty sure there were 2 lightsabers.
No, 8 never did, and he's right. I watched it again, never did.
The throne room scene, there was
No, I mean them 2 fought together, but like they never.
Yeah, they never fought. Yeah.
No clashed, right? Okay. Like no 2 lightsabers like clashed. So it was just interesting, but I don't know. That line just hits me hard.
Yeah, because 9.
It's like all the old movies, man. I'm like, you know what? Let me search this scene. That scene was cool. I'll watch that again. Anakin versus Obi-Wan. That's always been my argument. You know how hard they choreographed for that? And dude, that was so long ago.
That's the thing, Derek. They used up all their lightsaber clashing budget on that scene, and they had none left for episode 8.
You're right. that was just too good.
That was like 20 minutes of lightsaber clashing, you know?
Dude, I know. I was so excited too because I remember Daisy Ridley tweeting like, "Oh man, these workouts are intense, the fights." And then I'm watching 9. I'm like, I don't really see a lot of good fight. Like the fight was okay between her and Kylo, but man, come on, you guys, watch like episode 3, bro. Like, come on, that was insane. You're just like, you don't even blink. Unrivaled, man.
Unrivaled. Well, Derek, with all that being said, it's time for us to end the show.
Take off.
All right. Well, guys, it's been an amazing Quitslong Geekcast. Me and Derek delivered to you our thoughts on the first 5 episodes of The Mandalorian Season 2. And thanks to all of you for watching. Derek, that was excellent.
That was awesome. I know, dude, I'm so happy I get Juancho was usually my guy I talked to right after, but he hasn't watched. So it's been bottling up in my head all this whole season. So I'm happy.
Message me, buddy. Just message. I'm sorry about the other night. I just wanted to get
No, it's
to
all
it.
good. It's all good.
You, me, Francis, man, and Sam. We were messaging on Discord. You guys could check out the Discord with some of our spoiler-filled thoughts. We didn't want to let go, right? We didn't want to let go too early. We wanted to save it for the show.
No, seriously, I agree. And I was gonna say, this is like, maybe this is Juancho's like gift to me and you. We can finally talk about it because he wasn't here. Like, you know, right? That was his gift. Like, you guys, okay, we could talk about it. I know you've been wanting to. Happy birthday, my present for you. You know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so thank you to all our most recent followers like Toxic Draven _, Down with Fun, Booty Night, Satan _ the Devil. I feel like those two people are the same. 60-minute GG, it's your boy Brian, Nickel Octopus, Wolfpack, and Heinritz. Thank you guys so much, and thank you to our buddy Renzosaurus for getting us a cup of coffee for our troubles. Derek, our subscribers, always loyal and always there for us. Can you list them off real quick?
Let's do it. Me and Grogu would like to thank Human Panda 22, our current and still #1 top subscriber. Thank you so much, Human Panda. And not far behind is our boy Francis. Thank you so much, guys.
Actually, they're equal, man. They're equal.
Oh, you're right. They are equal. You guys both at 25. And you know who else is at 25 subs? Bamo King of Fu. It's a three-way tie. Three-way combo. Oh, moving on. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. But moving on down, we got Miku P, Nerf Diva, Sensei Humor, cool guy I heard, Notorious KGM, Insta DZ, Ion Hammer Stream, Visa Is, Neo Gear, Zil Fox, Denunci, The Fury Bot, New Molly, Zeffy Buns, Russell Jello, Jonathan, CZ64, Raj _ Leonardo 84. We appreciate it so much, guys. And as always, as we always say, you know, we appreciate the subs, but we also appreciate you guys just kind of sitting here and hanging out with us. Even if you're lurking, even if you're just listening in the background. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Love you guys. We love you guys. We love it.
100%.
Thank you so much. Thank you
100%.
so much.
Oh, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you want to see more of our stuff, hit us up to stay updated on Facebook.com/QuitStallingUs, on Twitter @QuitStallingUs. We're on Instagram @QuitStalling. Of course, our videos go up on demand on YouTube and on Twitch. Francis says I'm getting the anniversary sub tomorrow, so I should take the #1 seat. And we can't wait for that.
Derek, for the fight, I like it.
Derek, he's up for the fight, and maybe we could stream some WoW and have him have a reason to subscribe tomorrow.
Yes. I would love to.
We're playing some WoW tomorrow. Man. Maybe it'll be streamed. You know, maybe the 5 of us wouldn't mind being on stream a little bit. We'll see.
Hell yeah,
we'll see.
That'd be awesome. That'd be totally fun.
Super fun. Thank you guys for tuning in. Derek, where can people at home find you when you're not on the Quit Stalling Geekcast?
You guys can find me and Grogu here on my Twitch channel @Sensei Humor, as you can see down there. I also have a YouTube, Instagram, which is the same thing, Sensei Humor. But do not forget to follow me on Twitter as well, which is @Sensei Humor _ for the fastest live updates. And forgot to mention this earlier, but I hope you guys like my ship. It's actually fighting the coronavirus, not boogers, Francis, not boogies. But I hope you guys enjoyed this adventure we took and appreciate it. But other than me, of course, we gotta know, where can we find our host at? Where can they find you, Harold?
You guys can catch me @HaroldPlays on Twitter and on Instagram. Check out my stories, tweet me, tag me on your funny photos, and say hi. Hi. It's been fun, guys. You can find the Quit Stalling Geekcast recorded for your ears. For your ears, people, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and so much more. Wherever you get your podcast, you can get the Quit Stalling Geekcast. And, you know, while you're at it, check out Game Bite, the weekly podcast for gaming, where me, InstaDZ, the Fury Bot, Mick de Guzman, Elder Jin Cuffle, and Miko P show up and talk about the latest in video game news. Well, that's it for us here on the Quit Stalling Geekcast.
And since Juancho's not here, I'm going to say, since you guys heard Harold say it's the weekly podcast, weekly Game Bite, you know? Just since Juancho's not here, I'll give him that there. You guys, I'm sorry. I regret it.
You heard it here, guys. Game Bite team. I'm waiting for that retaliation.
No one clip this. No one do it. Don't do it.
Tell him, Francis. No. Tell him.
No.
Search your feelings.
Don't go to the door. Do it.
Do
it. Do it.
Do it. True. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been our Mandalorian recap. Next time, we'll have the folks over at Panel's Comic Book Coffee Bar. Next time we talk about the Mandalorian, we'll have them over and we'll talk about the season finale, people. The season finale. Because we're hyped about that. Till then, get off your butts and quit stalling. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody. Bye.